Hello, my name is David Thorpe and I'm the Special Consultant on Sustainable Cities Collective, the foremost web space for urban leaders everywhere. The rich and powerful of the economic world have been meeting in the Swiss town of Davos all week. Pooran Desai has been there. He's the Sustainability Director of social enterprise and charity BioRegional, whose mission is to introduce the concept of ecological footprinting into city planning and architecture. He heads up BioRegional's One Planet Communities program and is an author of the book of the same name. He practices what he preaches too, by living in BedZED in South London, a low-carbon apartment block that he helped to design, and by driving a sports car, which he runs on waste cooking oil. Hello, Pooran.
Hello there, David.
So first of all, for those of us who've never been there, what is it actually like in Davos during the World Economic Forum?
Well, it is a strange place to be, actually. I mean, it's got a lot of mystique around it, and it's a very unusual gathering. There are about 2,500 participants here, so it's very exclusive in that sense. BioRegional is invited as part of the social entrepreneurs cohort, so they have a number of different sectors that they bring in outside of the main sort of corporate sector, if you like, to help challenge them on certain ideas. And they've done that as they were getting a lot of criticism in the past of being quite closed and people wondering what was going on behind those closed doors. And now so they've opened it up a bit. But it's an amazing collection, of course, of business leaders, but also we have heads of state here. We've got actors, so Matt Damon's here, Goldie Hawn's here, and Bono's here. So a range of different people, artists, scientists, and Lord Martin Rees, the astronomer's here as well. So it's a very, very broad discussion and a very interesting place because of that.
And as part of BioRegional's team, what are you hoping to achieve there?
Well, here BioRegional, the core of the organisation is a charity driven primarily by looking at how can we get people employed in producing products, services, communities where people can lead happy and healthy lives, but within the environmental limits of the planet. We have a number of associated businesses which are spun off, including in real estate, and we're now working with projects in somewhere approaching about 20 countries or so, with sister organisations in some of those. And we were selected by the Schwab Foundation, which was set up by the founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. So the Schwab Foundation started the Social Entrepreneurs Network, which we applied to join and we were selected. So they have a certain number of those, and every year something like 20 or so social entrepreneurs are invited to attend at Davos. So what we're trying to do here at Davos is a couple of things. First of all, we have a number of relationships with some of the big corporates, including Kingfisher Group, which own B&Q in the UK, and we have a partnership with them. So this is an opportunity for us to meet with their CEO, which we don't often get to do, and talk a bit more about our work. That's Sarian Cheshire, who's a real fan of One Planet Living, and also with our Mexican corporate partner, FEMSA, actually. So that's one thing, is to strengthen our relationships, to talk to the most senior levels of management in those to get the ideas of One Planet Living really embedded and help transform those companies, and address some of the problems and get their view on where sustainability is going. The second thing is to spread the message about One Planet Living more widely. So we're in a number of workshop groups where we're able to talk about this sort of concept to other corporates, to government officials, to heads of state as well. So it's about spreading the message and strengthening some of the relationships we have in that in a spirit of transformation, really.
So what would you say are the major themes of this year's conference?
Well, there are a number of things which come through. I think the one which has really grabbed people's attention here, and I think got the headlines outside, was really stimulated or focused around a report by Oxfam, which was released in the lead up to Davos, which said that the 85 richest people in the world own as much as the poorest 3.5 billion, which is an absolutely incredible statistic. How can 85 rich people own as much as half of the people on the planet? And so the issue around wealth disparities is a massive issue here. And Professor Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, has been saying for a few years, we've been coming here 3 years, but as long as we've been coming, and I think for a time before, he's been saying, look, the way our economic system works, it doesn't bring benefit to enough people in the world. So people are excluded, whether that's in developed countries. We see an increasing underclass and unemployment all around the world in richer countries, but in poorer countries as well, we're seeing massive increases in wealth disparities. So one big issue is around distribution of wealth. Ironic, really, here. There's some of the richest people in the world here attending. Second major issue, which is good for us, is that issues like climate change and resource scarcity are right up there. So a lot of interest and a lot of sessions around, for instance, the concept of the circular economy, so closed loop recycling, for example, and climate change. And I think the third big issue, strand or discussion point, which is coming through for all of us, is just the rate of change of technology and innovation, and how's that impacting, how's it disrupting the way products and services are provided, and the way transparent issues around transparency, confidentiality, big data. So those are, I think, the three big issues that I think are being discussed here.
These rich and powerful people are often accused of living in a bubble. If they are at all interested in sustainability, to what extent is it just enlightened self-interest? And to what extent do you think it's true philanthropism?
Well, I think there are a range of different, people coming to it from a range of different perspectives. So there are some very wealthy people who are interested in the philanthropic, purely philanthropic sort of engagement in this issue. Some see it as a business opportunity if new products and services need to be provided in a way which is less damaging to the environment. There's room for innovation, room for product and service development. So some people are coming at it from that perspective. The corporates also see it from a perspective of actually what they're calling a defensive position, that they're seeing a rise in the price of commodities, and we've seen that really a reversal. So there was a great report produced by McKinsey here, which showed that actually after about 70 years of a steady decrease in real terms in the price of raw materials, in the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a steady and sharp upward increase in the price of those commodities because of resource scarcity. So it's a defensive position from some of the corporates as well, saying, look, actually, in future we won't be able to do business unless we're looking after resources more carefully.
So does all of this make you feel optimistic or pessimistic for the future of the planet?
Well, look, I think the problems are bigger than ever. If we look at carbon emissions, they're still growing. The rate of growth, there's some evidence maybe it's slowing, but nonetheless, it is still growing. We have more and more people joining the middle class around the world, and that generally means a great increase in levels of consumption. So I think those big indicators are certainly not good. But against that, we're seeing a lot of new products and services coming through. We're seeing a lot more interest in this area. And I think what we do underestimate is the rate at which technologies are changing and can change into the future. So I think we have to be optimistic, actually. I think there's a lot going on. We're part of a global society which is accelerating all the time. So what's going to be interesting in the next few years is to what extent can we see a massive growth in green technologies and clean technologies and more socially inclusive technologies. And if those come through, I think we could see massive changes in the next 10 years. So overall, I am optimistic.
Well, that's good news. And for yourself and for BioRegional, as you prepare to leave Davos, what's in store?
Well, from here, this is the first year at Davos that we've seen a really, really positive engagement in climate change and resource efficiency, and I think that's partly because the economy's improved, so people are looking at it. It's so people don't want to. Are not focused on doom and gloom at the moment. They're focused with optimism, but with that also the opportunities that tackling climate change can bring for businesses. So for us, I think they're more corporate partnerships we're looking to take away here from here. We're looking to expand our training program around One Planet Living, particularly in partnership with our Mexican partner, FEMSA, who are very involved in the Tec de Monterrey University in Mexico. So we're looking at setting up a One Planet Lab with a training center for businesses and students there. So there's some fantastic opportunities here and ways of spreading our message.
So can you perhaps define for those of listeners who don't know what a One Planet community or One Planet principles are?
Yes, I mean, this grew out of the BedZED project in South London. So that project was put together by BioRegional. It's a village of 100 homes and 2,000 square meters of commercial space, working with Bill Dumpster architects, Arup engineers, and we brought in the Peabody Trust Housing Association to develop it in partnership with us. And it was from that we actually learned that it was that development looked at a whole sustainable lifestyle, but actually was very green architecture focused. And what our analysis of that, which came through about 10 years ago after we finished BedZED, was that green buildings are important, but actually this real step change comes when you change people's lifestyles. And at that time, we also, the emerging concept of ecological footprint had come through, so we were benchmarking against ecological footprint. So we wanted to communicate how can we create happy and healthy lives for people within the environmental limits of our One Planet. So we came up with the term One Planet Living, and then we worked with various partners, including WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature, and came up with 10 principles to help us do that. And those principles range from health and happiness to zero carbon energy supply. So 10 principles, which if you go to our website, you can find out a bit more about that. But we use those principles now with retailers on their product ranges, with manufacturing companies to help inform manufacturing processes, with municipalities. So, for example, Brighton and Hove has become a One Planet city using these 10 principles and benchmarking against One Planet Living, and then working with developers as well. Real estate developers. So looking at how we can create communities where people can lead happy and healthy lives within the environmental limits of the planet. So we look at, of course, energy efficient buildings, but green energy supply. We look at reducing car use, or in fact creating car-free communities, as we've done with our One Brighton development, a particular development in Brighton, where we went completely car-free with car clubs only. We have rooftop allotments, for example, in that community as well, and have organised or designed in places where vegetable weekly boxes can be dropped off. So we look at a whole sustainable lifestyle, and that has stimulated actually a network of One Planet communities around the world. And in all of those, we're starting to see better resident satisfaction, and in fact, from the investor perspective as well, better rental values in those, for people who are renting out there, and better neighbourliness and all those sorts of goods, social goods as well as environmental goods.
Well, thank you very much, Pooran, for talking to us and taking time out from all your meetings at Davos, and I do wish you the very best for the rest of your time there.
Thank you very much, David. Bye.
Thank you, Pooran, and you can find out the address of the website to go to in just one moment.